Am I the asshole for expecting my brother to uninvite my soon-to-be ex-husband and my friends from his wedding? My 34 female brother, 31 male, is getting married in a month. My brother is not friends with my friends, but he knows them by association and gets along with them, and he's invited them to his wedding. My soon-to-be ex is also invited. He was invited anyway before I found out certain stuff. My husband and I have known each other since high school, and we shared the same friend group. His friends are my friends and vice versa. Recently I found out my husband has been cheating on me for 4 months with another woman, and all of our friends have been covering for him. They all knew and enabled him. I immediately filed for divorce. I came clean to my family about it few days after I found out. They were all shocked and angry. My dad was more focused on my husband cheating, but my mom was more focused on our friends covering for him. My brother was also upset because he was close to my husband. My husband has left home and he's living with his sister for now. Yesterday the topic of my brother's wedding came up, and he was talking about the seating arrangements with me and my parents. He asked me if I would be comfortable to be seated next to my husband and our friends. I looked at him in disbelief and told him he shouldn't even be asking that question. I'm also upset that he's inviting them after all, especially my friends, since they're not his friends at all and he just knows them by association. He said it would be mean if he uninvited all of them just 1 month before the wedding, and said that he understands why I'd feel uncomfortable, but he doesn't want to be mean. I reminded him how my husband cheated on me and I got lied on by all my friends who were enabling him. He says he's aware, but I should not insist on him uninviting them because it's his wedding and he makes the rules. I dropped it and didn't continue the conversation, but am I the asshole for expecting my cheating husband and the friends who covered from him to get uninvited from my brother's wedding? I want to highlight that the whole cheating issue is fresh. It's barely been a month since I found out. Not the asshole. I would make this my hill to die on. Brother, it's fine if you want to invite them, but I will no longer be attending. I value my mental health, and do not want to spend time with them. I hope you have a lovely wedding. If your brother is choosing people he isn't even friends with over you, then it proves what a terrible brother he is. Also, the fact he was going to sit you next to your soon-to-be ex-husband shows how little he actually values you. Not the asshole. He says he doesn't want to be mean, but doesn't realize how mean it is to force you to sit through all of that. His reason isn't that he doesn't want to be mean. It'll be something more pathetic, like they've already had their table plan printed. Not the asshole at all. Your brother needs to readjust his priorities. Is it worse to be rude to a shitty lying group of people who he's not actually friends with? Or alienate his sister whom he loves, by putting her in an upsetting and uncomfortable situation? In 10 years' time those friends probably won't remember this event, but you sure will. I hope your future Sil takes note of how your brother values cheaters and their enablers. Not the asshole. If I were you, I'd make it pretty clear it's them or me. That may be a dick move, but you shouldn't have to go be miserable all night so your brother can save face. As someone who has been cheated on and watched my friends continue to be friendly to my ex and his baby mama, I was very hurt by this, and it really changed my perspective of people. I don't care if that's selfish of me, but I think that sometimes, side-picking is just fine. Family, especially in most situations, should follow your wishes. Not the asshole. Significant other much not the asshole. I'm so sorry for you. I feel your pain so much. Not the asshole. And your brother's casual attitude about cheating makes me concerned for his spouse. Not the asshole. Question: is soon-to-be ex getting a +1 to bring his side piece? Not the asshole. Your brother doesn't want to be mean to those people, but is fine with hurting you? It goes without a question that the cheaters are not allowed on the wedding. Talk with him again. Am I the asshole? I told my wife that she'd have to do most of the housework herself. I work a full-time job. My wife wanted to be a SAHW. We don't have kids, by the way. Today she came to me and said that she wanted to discuss the chore split for when she becomes a stay-at-home partner. She said that I'd have to take the trash out every day and do laundry. I said that side she'd be at home all day, she'd have to do all the cooking, laundry, cleaning, pay the bills, getting things fixed at home, taking the trash out, etc. I'd essentially only have to pick up after myself and not mess up the house. She got mad and said that she's not a maid, to which I replied saying that she'd wanted to stay home so that I could just focus on bringing an income and she would take care of the house. She said that she didn't want to spend her days doing all the housework. I said that is literally the job of a stay-at-home spouse. So she said I am being misogynistic. I replied that I'm not being misogynistic because I'd be doing all the housework too if I was going to be the stay-at-home spouse instead of her. I finally told her that if she didn't want to do the housework, she can go back to her old job. Now she's not talking to me. Am I the asshole? Edit. I take the car to work. Everything is walkable distance from home, so she usually doesn't need the car. I do all the cooking on weekends and cleaning is split in half on weekends. Probably gonna get downvoted for this, but not the asshole. Obviously you will probably need to do a few random things around the house, but no kids, and she wants to be stay-at-home implies that she is going to be managing the house and keeping it in order. What was she expecting to do all day? Not the asshole. I recently quit my job to take a few months off and be a SAHW. My husband goes to work, and I clean, cook and do laundry. Some days I am better than others, but I don't expect my husband to do any chores. And it's been the reverse for us. Last winter I was working full-time and he stayed at home. Every day I came home and the house was clean, dinner was at the very least planned and prepped, and I never had to do laundry or trash duty. Being in a relationship is a partnership, and if one spouse is bringing in the moolah, I say the lion's share of housework should fall on the SAH spouse. What does your wife want to do all day anyway? What does she propose as fair? Why should you have to work and do as many chores as she does? It makes zero sense, regardless of gender. Not the asshole. Your wife basically wants to have her cake and eat it. A husband off working so she can do a bit of tidying and then head out for coffee with her friends. Fuck that. Get a job. Not the asshole. I'm a som with 3 kids, and disabled yet still manage most of those things because I want to be able to do my fair share. Honestly, if I wasn't playing and chasing around 3 kids, most of that would be done early in the day. Tears of joy. Also, why is there trash to take out daily? Why is there so much trash, or are we talking small bins full? Edit. I do think you should share responsibilities with bills getting paid and anything that needs to be fixed, but that's more so to do with keeping in communication so you both know what's done and getting done. Not the asshole. Tell her to get a job and pay for a maid. Not the asshole. No kids who are demanding time and no injuries, illness. If she wants to stay at home, the home better be clean. She just sounds lazy at this point. Only the real heavy things you should help with. But that is just because most of the time men are stronger than women. Not the asshole. Because you don't have kids. I agree with this 199%. She basically wants only half the responsibility of the house without half the contribution. Sorry, not sorry. You either contribute by income or contribute by keeping the home. Here's the issue in calling it a stay-at-home wife. It implies their role is to just stay home. That's why we used to call them homemakers, because they made the damn home. That was their role and it was important. Obviously you even said you shouldn't be a messy shit. But most of the housework within reason should be hers if she isn't working. And once kids are in the picture it's different. Not the asshole. I get the whole, she's not a maid thing, but you're bringing in an income. How is she contributing to the house? It's not that hard to do. She'd definitely be able to spend a few hours each morning doing house things and have arvos to herself. Sounds like she wants a certain lifestyle that isn't actually attainable. Am I the asshole for replacing the stones in my grandma's ring? My grandma passed away 10 years ago, and when her estate was settled, I ended up with her wedding ring. She didn't leave it to me specifically, but that's the way things turned out. It fits me, but I was already married at the time of her passing. When I got the ring, that was the first time I'd ever seen it. I was close with grandma, but never knew her to wear any jewelry. She must have worn it a lot at some point though, because the center stone and one of the side stones had fallen out. It made me sad to see it that way, and my first thought at the time was to save and buy new stones for it so it could look new again. My husband said I shouldn't, because since I already have a wedding ring, this one isn't really mine to keep or wear. One of our future kids might want to use it as a wedding ring and pick out their own stones. The ring sat in my drawer for 10 years and just recently I decided to go for it anyway. We do have kids now, but there's no telling if they'll ever get married, or if they'll want to use this ring when they do. They never even met my grandma, so why would they? It'd be more appealing to them with the stones in it anyway. So I had it restored. The stones are fairly small compared to modern rings, so the price wasn't a deal-breaker for our family. It was on par with any other gift I might have picked up for myself at Christmas. My husband is annoyed and says I'm selfish for choosing to enjoy the ring myself instead of saving it for others. But it's a ring, not a pie. It'll still be around in 20 years if one of the kids want it when they get engaged. I can't believe I have to ask, But is there any way he's right and I'm the asshole here? Edit. Wow, this has really taken off. Thank you for the awards and the reassurance and perspective you've all offered. A couple questions keep coming up. 1. How did I pay for the stones? From a joint account. We don't have individual accounts. The amount was small though. It's Christmas and I always spend roughly this amount for my gift. 2. Is the ring nicer, more expensive than my engagement ring from my husband? No. My grandparents were rural farmers and had neither the money nor any practical use for extravagant things. Big diamonds weren't in fashion back then. Its value is almost entirely sentimental, which leads to my above point. Replacing the stones wasn't expensive. They were small and affordable. 3. Are you wearing it instead of your own wedding ring? I still wear my wedding ring, and plan to wear this one on my right hand. I haven't worn it at all yet since it isn't Christmas for a few more days. Not the asshole. Your husband is being a weirdo. Enjoy your ring, it sounds beautiful. Not the asshole. Tell your husband to STFU. It's your heirloom to do with what you want. If your kids want it, that's a big if, they would 100% prefer the stones already there. Not the asshole. Your husband comes off as a cheapskate. Jewelry should be enjoyed, not saved. Significant other. Many people forget this fact. If you can afford it, then why not? NTA. So your husband is telling you how to use your ring you got from your grandmother? That's not his business. I'd understand if it came from his family, but it came from yours. Enjoy your newly restored heirloom. Not the asshole. I don't understand your husband's point of view at all. Anyway, it was left to you, not to posterity. Do what you want with it. Not the asshole. Weird he'd call you selfish for restoring your grandma's ring. Weirder still that he's angry about it. Not the asshole. You are adding family love to the ring's value. Not the asshole. You inherited a house with a rotten roof, so you replaced the roof with a new working one. Your grandma would be happy knowing you are taking good care of one of her previous treasured possession. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's favorite food for her? So my friend Sarah absolutely loves cows. She refuses to eat beef because of her love for cows. The two of us were at lunch and I ordered a chicken fried steak. She said, "Oh, I love chicken fried steak." I just kind of looked at her and said, "But Sarah, you don't eat beef." She said, "But that's chicken. My mom told me that it was chicken." I corrected her and she immediately calls her mom to ask her. Well, come to find out, her mom had been lying to her for her entire life about different foods that she gave her to get her to eat beef. She would tell her something was chicken or pork or whatever. My friend called me an asshole for ruining one of her favorite dishes. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You didn't ruin her favorite food, her mom did, and you're not responsible for keeping up someone else's lies. Not the asshole. Laughing my ass off is your friend 5? This is the most ridiculous thing I've read this week. Not the asshole. Her mum is for lying to her about her foods knowing it's so important to her. OMG. Why is she mad at you and not her mum? My sister doesn't eat pork or beef and I would never lie to her. I even point out some things that she doesn't pick up on and she's thankful. I don't eat fish or seafood, and if someone lied to me about what it was I would be significant other angry. Though Sarah is dumb for not checking what the foods are if it's really so important to her. I'm not American so I don't really know what chicken fried steak is, but if it's beef surely it would be red, brown like beef, not chicken colored? Not the asshole for Sarah being dumb. Not the asshole. Your friend must be accustomed to some really tough, weird chicken. Not the asshole. How has she never had chicken and wondered why it was nothing like chicken fried steak? The mum is a bit of a dick, sure, but to be that age and not have any suspicions is very odd. Well, now she can just love cows for just how tasty they are too. Not the asshole. I think you were in a tough spot, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You did the right thing and told her the truth. Not the asshole. I had a similar experience. My sister has never liked any fish or seafood. It disgusts her, so I was shocked when she ordered her favorite salad while we were out to dinner. It was a Caesar. So I asked her if she knew the dressing was made with egg and anchovies. She got angry with me for ruining her favorite salad. I was shocked she didn't know how it was made, especially since she worked in restaurants for years. Luckily there are some bottled Caesar dressings made without anchovies that she can use to make her salad at home.